Hi everyone, it's Leah here. Today I will share with you an album I've just made. I've used Peon design papers for the album. There is also a tutorial available in my Etsy store or on my website. The tutorial is 204 pages long with over 600 pictures. The album is 6 by 6. Around the album is a closure. Closure is magnetized to keep album together, and on a closure is a metal handle that is attached on a piece of chipboard. On this side here is a piece of border that is also attached to a chipboard. On the side is an image and two small buttons from Alma sewing room paper. Throughout this album I've used images and embellishments from Alma's sewing room paper collection. Here on the back of the closure I've used Joycraft's die, and here in the middle is a button I cut out from the paper and matted on a chipboard. On this side is another image with two small buttons on the side, matted on a chipboard. And the closure opens to the side. This is inside of the closure, and here you can see the outside. Now I will show you the inside of this album. On the cover I've used Joycraft's die. In the middle is a bread with two small buttons from the paper. On the side, up here I've used another corner from Linen Land Design and attached a bread in the middle. This album has 14 pages, and this page is inside cover page with the pocket. I've used Spellbinder scalloped borders too for the pocket. You will see on every page I've used the same die to cut the edges. And here in the pocket is photo mat. And on the pocket is an image of a girl that I cut out from 6 by 6 paper. Under the image is another embellishment cut out from 12 by 12 paper. Page 1 has a pocket in the front, and in the pocket is a photo mat. I've used Marion Design edge die to cut the edge of the mat. And on the pocket is a tag from 6 by 6 paper and border from 12 by 12 paper. And edge, I've used Spellbinder's die to cut this edge. And the flap is magnetized, and you have space for photos. And here is another flap that opens up, bordered from 12 by 12 paper and more room for pictures. And then we have another flap that opens to the right. Beautiful border from 6 by 6 paper. Little button that I cut out from paper. And here is inside pocket with photo mat. And on the pocket there are two flaps. Bottom flap, upper flap has beautiful image from 12 by 12 paper and border, and both flaps are magnetized. Upper flap, and here is bottom flap with a tag for journaling, beautiful border and cut out button from 12 by 12 paper, and bottom flap opens down. And here is another flap that opens to the left, more room for photos. And there are some damages on a image. I think I did it with double-sided tape. I was taping and it just got stuck on the images here. Page 2 has a little pocket with a tag. You can journal in the back. You can also mat it. I didn't, but you can do it from the scraps. And on the pocket, I've used a Marion Design die and attached small button from 6x6 paper. Here is another pocket from 12x12 paper, and down here I've used Spellbinder's die. And here is a flap with a magnet that opens up. And then we have two more flaps on this page. This flap opens to the left, and you have space for journaling, for photo, and you can journal down here. Again, on this side, on this flap is space for journaling and for photos, and the flap opens to the right, and more room for photos. Page 3 has a flap that opens to the side, inside pocket with the photo mat, and this is inside of the photo mat, and here is outside. On the flap is a large pocket with photo insert, and on the pocket are two flaps, bottom and top flap. On the top flap is an image from 12x12 paper and small button, and flaps are magnetized. Top flap opens down, and here on the bottom flap is another tag for journaling, and this tag opens up and more room for photos. On page 4 is another large pocket with two photo inserts. Small insert with a die cut edge from Marion Design, and here is die cut edge from Spellbinder's die, and this is large mat. And on the pocket and here on the pocket is a flap, and on this flap is another small pocket with photo inserts. Here is the front of the insert with beautiful image from 12x12 paper, and on the inside a room for photo, and here is a tag for journaling. I cut out a mat to mat a pocket on it, and I cut out both side edges with Marion Design die, and on the flap is under the flap is a magnet, and the flap opens up, and you can place photos here, and the insert goes back into the pocket. And on the next page is again pocket, lots of pockets and flaps and photo inserts in this album. So you will hear me saying photos and photos, mats and flaps and pockets. So this pocket has large flap, large insert, and here is smaller insert with a flap and die cut edge, and on the top is an image from 6x6 paper. It's more like a little postcard, and this is the bottom of the insert. Here you can journal, and this is the top of the insert. And down here is a border from 12x12 paper, the same here, and a button, and everything is attached on a flap that is magnetized, and it opens to the side, and inside a pocket with a photo mat, and here on the pocket is a little embellishment that I matted on a cardstock. On this page is a pocket with a little window I cut out, and the tag I matted on a cardstock with die cut edge. I think this image looks so beautiful inside this pocket. On this side and here are two borders from 12 by 12 paper, and the flap is magnetized and it opens to the right. Inside is a little tag, I mean it's a bigger tag for decoration, and this flap opens to this side. Next page has another large pocket with photo insert. And here is border from 12 by 12 paper with a button that I cut out from the same paper. On a pocket there are two flaps with a magnet closure. The small pocket opens to the right, and here is bottom pocket or a large pocket that opens to the left, and more room for photos. Here is another embellishment for journaling, and down here is a border from 12 by 12 paper, and also here on the top of small flap are two images from the paper. And then everything here is on the flap that opens to the side, and inside is a pocket with a photo mat. On the next page is a small pocket in the front embellished with embellishments from the paper, and in the pocket is large tag that slides into the pocket. On this side is a border from 12 by 12 paper. Here is a closure with a button, and closure has magnetic closure that opens to the side, and this flap opens to this side, and then inside is another flap that opens to the right. On the next page, a pocket again with die cut edge. I used crocodile chomper for the edges. In the pocket is another photo mat. In the front is an image or postcard from a 12 by 12 paper, and also this embellishment I cut out from the same paper. And then we have magnetized closure, magnetized flap that opens up, and here is bottom flap or smaller flap with die cut edge, corners that opens down. And here are two borders. This one is from 12 by 12 and this one is from 6 by 6 paper. And a little button I cut out. And the flap opens to the side, again inside pocket with die cut edge, and another photo mat that slides into the pocket, and the border from 12 by 12 paper here. On the next page is a beautiful image of a lady matted on a cardstock. Here is a button from 12 by 12 paper and two borders on the side. Here at the top and at the bottom is cut out image that I cut out both portions and adhere them to the edges. And the flap has a magnetic closure, opens to the left, and inside a smaller flap that opens to the right, and inside of the flap a small pocket with a tag. This page has small pocket with a tag, and the pocket is embellished with an image from 12 by 12 paper. Down here is die cut closure, postcard from 6x6 paper, and an image from 12x12 paper. And down here is a border and die cut from Spellbinders. This is a Spellbinders Basics banners too. And also here in the front, I've used basic banners too from Spellbinders. And the closure has is magnetized and it opens down. And inside there are 3 waterfall flaps that open up. And closure keeps all those 3 flaps in place. And then the flap that opens to the side. And here is another inside pocket with die cut edge. And in the pocket is a photo mat for you can journal here and put your photo in the back. And this goes back into the pocket. So we are almost done here. Oh, and I have to tell you something about all those images. Throughout this album, I matted almost all the images on a chipboard, which is not such a good idea because an album is too bulky, and the closure, it can happen the closure won't close. So it's a better idea to attach everything, mat everything on a cardstock. So on the last page we have an insert in the pocket. Here is large pocket and the flap on the pocket. And this insert has a flap. This is inside of the photo mat and here is the outside. And on the top there are 2 flaps with a magnetic closure that open to the side. Room for photos or journaling. And on the top of both closures are 2 small buttons and a border for 12x12 paper and an image. And here I've used Spellbinders Basic Banners die again. And this flap and the insert are magnetized. Down here is a magnet and up here is a magnet. So when you insert the photo mat into the pocket, it will close with the flap and everything is in place. This is the page that I call inside cover page, and it has a pocket with a die cut edge. In the pocket is another insert, and on the pocket there are 2 flaps, bottom flap, top flap and bottom flap. Top flap has a beautiful tag from 12x12 paper and it opens to the side, and both flaps are attached with a magnet, and bottom flap opens to the right and it closes. So that's the end of this album. Oh, and this is the back. I just matted the paper. That was all for today. My new project is coming soon, and thank you for watching.